wide expectations from BECE candidates. Our resource person attended St. Barnabas Anglican Basic School, where he completed in 1999. From there, he proceeded to Hausazone College in 2002. In 2007, he was at the University of Ghana, and his quest for knowledge led him to the University of Education, Winneba, in 2018. He is a happily married man with a prince. Currently, he is the examinations coordinator at the Kroho Municipal Education Office. My smart boys and girls, our brothers, my seniors and colleagues, help me welcome our first presenter for today, Mr. Joshua Quartey.
Good morning. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Your response is very weak. Is it examination anxiety or what? I want to see some feeling. Good morning. Give me some. Good morning. All right. In fact, the place is very nice. I wish I could go back to senior high school. Yes. I attended Hausazone College. I know many of you want to go there. But what I'm seeing here is so fantastic. What do you think? How many of you want to be here? Yeah. Oh, I can see your hands. How many of you want to be here? Very good, very good. That means we have to work very hard and then blow the BECE. What do you think? Yes. Very good. Thank you very much for inviting me here. It's always good to meet candidates before they write the BECE. It's always good to meet candidates before they write the BECE. And everybody wants you to pass. What do you think? Everybody wants you to pass. The director wants you to pass. Your parents want you to pass. Your teachers want you to pass. Everybody wants you to pass. But there are so many things to do before we can pass. That's why we are here to give you information that will help you prepare very well towards the BECE. Thank you for inviting me here. The Deputy General Manager, the headmaster of this beautiful institution, my Director of Education, colleague teachers, students. It's a privilege to be here to take you through some of the expectations we have from you, we expect from you. And I believe if we position ourselves very well, take it from here, we go back and work on it, I don't see us failing the BECE. And I believe by the time the results are released, all of us will be passing and attending our favorite senior high schools. What do you think? Thank you very much. Now, there are three key expectations that we are looking out from you. Now, the first thing is you must be self-conscious of the examination you are about writing. Self-awareness. The first key is to be self-awareness. You can read, the final week, day, month, or year can be very stressful. I believe many of you are already feeling the stress. But knowing how to handle stress is a key to passing the BECE. All right, knowing how to manage stress. And there are three key areas if you want to manage the stress level. The first one has to do with being self-aware. Self-awareness or self-conscious of the BECE. You need to encourage yourself. You need to encourage yourself. Number two, you must ask yourself, what is the main objective for writing the BECE? What is the main objective for writing the BECE? With that knowledge, it makes your preparation very, very intense. Now, the BECE has two main objectives: certification and selection into senior high school. Certification and selection into senior high school. That is why the registration is captured in phases. We have phase 1, phase 2, and then phase 3. I believe you've all been registered. And through the phase 1, you were taken through the biodata, certification, and selection into senior high school. And the phase 1, you capture 3 things: subject selection, the pictures, and then the biodata. That is going to be on your certificate. Then, very soon, you'll be doing a school selection. 2 main objectives for certification and then selection. With this knowledge, you know that the examination is going to form the basis for the next level. Being self-aware. 1, certification and selection. With that knowledge, you have to prepare very well. Then the second has to do with you must be in tune with all the necessary guidelines and rubrics regarding the examinations. I'm going to take you through all the rubrics one after the other. You must be in tune with all the necessary guidelines and rubrics regarding the examinations. The timetable and subject combinations. The timetable and then subject combinations. Then time allocation for each subject. You must be aware of the timetable and then the combination, then time allocation for each subject. Then subject and specific instructions and requirements. Every subject has specific instruction and requirement. We are going to pick them subject by subject. Then we'll look at the specific instruction and the requirement. Then the knowledge of the examination center and reporting time. The knowledge of the examination center, and I believe you've all been registered into centers. You know by your centers by now. Knowledge of the examination center and then the reporting time. Then knowledge of the usage of the writing materials. The answer booklet, then the shading paper. If you don't know how to handle the answer booklet and the writing material, it can affect the outcome of the result. So the knowledge of the writing materials, then attitude at the examination center and room before, during, and after the examination. Having coordinated the exam for several years, I noticed that most candidates fail because of their attitude in the examination room. So we look at ways to conduct ourselves in the examination room and the center. Then, WAEC's directions to candidates, the do's and the don'ts. Then questioning and answering techniques. It is not enough to have the information, but how to put the information on the paper is very, very important. Questioning and answering techniques. These are the rubrics regarding the examination and the necessary guidelines. We are going to pick them one after the other and then take you through. Then the third aspect has to do with adequate and strategic preparations. Adequate and strategic preparations. After seeing all the rubrics, being in tune with the rubrics, then what next? Now, the BECE, the date is already out. From the 8th to the 15th of July, we are writing the BECE. 8th to 15th of July. Monday to Monday, not Monday to Friday, because now we have 11 subjects. How many of you registered for Arabic? Anybody writing Arabic? All right. So we are writing from Monday to Monday, not Monday to Friday. So it's now from 8th to 15th of July, 2024. Initially, we had 15th to the 17th. Do you have the timetable already? Do you have it? Good. Now, let me give you the subject combination for the timetable. I'm surprised you don't have it. Now, on Monday, the first day, you are writing English and RME. English and RME on the first day. Then on Tuesday, you have integrated science and computing. Integrated science and computing. Then on Wednesday, you have social studies, creative art and design. Social studies, creative art and design. Then on Thursday, you have mathematics and Ghanaian language. Then Friday, you have French and career technology. Then Monday, you have Arabic. Arabic. Do you have it? So that is the subject combination. Monday, English, RME. Tuesday, you have science and computing. Wednesday, you have social studies and creative arts. Thursday, you have math, Ghanaian language. Friday, French, career technology. And then Monday, you have Arabic. Now, I mentioned subject and subject combination. This will help you prepare your own personal timetable. One of the key strategies in preparation is having a personal timetable. So with this knowledge, you can prepare your personal timetable. Now, what are the subjects for the 2024 BECE? Subjects for the 2024 BECE. So many things have changed. We have English language, mathematics, integrated science, social studies, religious and moral education, creative art and design, and then career technology. From the BECE registration, you were informed that we have 7 common core subjects. Formerly, we have 4 core subjects. But because of the common core program, now we have 7 common core subjects, which are English language, mathematics, integrated science, social studies, RME, creative art and design, and then career technology. Now, career technology is a combination of home economics and pre-tech. Formerly, we had BDT, basic design and technology, which comprises of 3 subjects: visual art, home economics, and then pre-tech. Now, career technology comprises of pre-technical skills and home economics. And then creative art is visual art, music, dance, and drama. So when you hear career technology, we are talking about a combination of pre-technical skills and home economics. Then creative art and design, we are talking about visual art, music, dance, and drama. And there are 7 common core subjects. That means they are compulsory. All of them are compulsory. Then we have elective subject, which is Ghanaian language. In Ghana, at the BECE level, we have 11 languages. We have 11 languages. And I believe you've all been registered for one of them. All right? Then we have 3 optional subjects. 3 optional subjects: computing, French, and Arabic. So these are the number of subjects for this year's BECE. Are you okay? So you must have knowledge of the subject entered for you during the registration, especially the Ghanaian language. Now, the next point: knowledge of the examination center. Knowledge of the examination center. No, let me come to the subject and the specific instructions. Now, I have given you the subject for the 2024 BECE. Now, what are the requirements? What are the requirements? Because with this knowledge, it will help you prepare adequately for the BECE. Every subject has specific requirements. Now, career technology. What are the requirements? What are we expecting from you? The paper consists of 2. We have 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. For career technology, you have paper 1 and paper 2. And it's going to be a 2 hours, 15-minute paper. 2 hours, 15 minutes for both paper 1 and paper 2. Are you not aware? All right. Now, paper 1, as usual, objectives, multiple choice questions, 40 multiple choice questions, and must be answered within 50 minutes for 40 marks. 40 objectives, which must be answered within 50 minutes for 40 marks. Then paper 2, the essay part, consists of 2 parts, A and B, to be answered within 1 hour, 15 minutes. Now, the part A of the essay will comprise 3 questions. You are going to have 3 questions at the part A. And candidate will be expected to answer 2 questions there, of which question 1, which is test or practicals, is compulsory. The part A has 3 questions, 1, 2, and 3. You are going to select 2 questions from the part A. The first question there is compulsory. Then the 2 and the 3, you have to select 1. For 50 marks each. Then the part B will comprise also 3 questions. And you'll be expected to answer 2, of which question 4 is compulsory for 50 marks. So in order to answer 4 questions in the career technology paper, the essay, number 1 and number 4 are compulsory. Number 2 and 3, 5 and 6, you pick 1. Number 1 and number 4 are compulsory. The one from part A is compulsory. The number 4 from part B is also compulsory. Is it clear? Then, creative arts. Creative art. This is what we're all crying for, the scheme and structure. Now it is out. Creative art and design. You are going to have paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 receives 40 multiple choice questions to be answered within 45 minutes for 40 marks. Then paper 2 essay consists of 3 sections. You are going to have section A, section B, and section C. The part A The visual arts component will comprise 3 questions. One will be on design, and it is compulsory. It's centered on the other art strands, and candidates are required to answer any one in addition to question 1. We are going to ask questions at the part A. The first one, and is compulsory. Then the other art strands, question 2 and 3, you have to select one. So you are answering 2 questions in the part A. Then part B on music. Part B on music. You are going to have 2 questions there, and you'll be expected to answer only one. Then part C will be on dance and drama. Dance and drama. 2 questions there as well. Then you'll be expected to answer one. So you know how many questions are you answering? Yes. How many? 4. Very good. Then next subject, computing. The structure and scheme of computing is not totally different from the previous structure. You still have paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 multiple choice, 40 multiple choice questions to be answered within 45 minutes for 40 marks. Then the essay, 2 sections, A and B. The part A is compulsory. That's the test of practicals. It's very compulsory, and you are answering within 1 hour, 15 minutes. Then the part B, 4 questions will be provided, and you have to answer 3 out of the 4. So you know how many are you answering for computing? 4. Part A is compulsory. Part B will consist of 4 questions, in which you have to pick 3. Are you okay on that? Good. Then English. English has changed a bit from the previous structure. Paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 objective now. For the objective, you are going to have 40 multiple choice. 35 questions will be on grammar usage. 35 will be on grammar usage. Grammar usage, we are talking about the antonyms, the synonyms, most important to complete the sentence, that is grammar usage. You are going to have 35 multiple choice questions, and then the 5 questions will be on oral language, which has been the sounds. 35 for grammar usage and 5 on oral language. So teachers, we need to look at the grammar usage, then the oral language. Then we have paper 2, the essay, consists of 3 parts, part A, part B, and part C. Now, part A will be writing. So you are going to have 3 essays, either formal or informal letter, descriptive or narrative, argumentative or date. You will not have formal and informal at the same time. One of them will be there, either formal or informal. So it means that we are expecting our teachers to take our learners to the features of the essay types. The features of the essay types. When we say formal letter writing, what are the features? When we say informal, what are the features? When we say narrative or descriptive writing, what are the features? You may have the point, but what features are we expected to put on the paper? So part B will be on reading, comprehension, and summarizing. So for the first time, we are going to have summary in the English language. Then the part C, the literature, reference will make reference to the core pro. Part C, literature, and reference will be made to the core pro. I know many schools were thinking the core pro has been taken out. Part C, literature, reference will be made to the core pro. So you have to go back and revise your core pro. Are you okay with the structure of the English language? All right. Then the next subject, Ghanaian language. You see, when the Ghanaian language pop up, they're all laughing. Please pay attention. Ghanaian language is an elective subject. We have 7 common core subjects. Then Ghanaian language is elective. What does it mean to us? It's going to determine placement. Yes. Ghanaian language will determine placement because it's an elective subject. So if they have to pick 6 subjects for placement, they may pick 5 from the core and Ghanaian language. So once you hear Ghanaian language as elective, don't look down on the language. It can determine your placement. Are you okay? Alright. So Ghanaian language also has 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1, 40 multiple choice questions to be answered within 15 minutes for 40 marks. Now the questions within the objective, the 40, will be centered around customs, institutions, oral and written literature, then listening and speaking. The 40 objectives will be centered around customs, institutions, oral and written literature, listening and speaking. Then the paper 2, the essay, will consist of 4 parts. You have composition, comprehension, and then for the first time you have translation. Yes. Either it will be in English for you to translate it to the Ghanaian language. Yes. So the teachers, we need to go back to the curriculum and look at the features of translation. Are you okay? So please, translation, this is the first time we are going to have translation in the language. Alright, next subject. Almighty mathematics. The structure of mathematics hasn't changed. The structure hasn't changed. You still have 40 multiple choice to be answered within 1 hour. The paper has 2 hours. 1 hour for paper 1 and then 1 hour for paper 2. 40 objectives to be answered within 1 hour. Then the paper 2, you are going to have 6 questions and you are to pick 4 within 1 hour. Similar to the following. Good. Then RME. RME has changed. The structure of RME has changed. Paper 1, paper 2. Still 40 multiple choice to be answered within 45 minutes. But the paper 2 now will consist of 2 sections. Formerly, we were having 3. The religion part, and then the other one. The social and then the moral. Now we are going to have only 2 parts. Section A and Section B. Section A is compulsory. And the question is going to be on a scenario or a case study. This is where the critical thinking comes in and problem solving. The question will not be that straightforward. You have a scenario, a passage, or a case study, and the questions will be asked from the scenario. And the first part is part A. Section A is compulsory. Then section B, we are going to have 4 questions, and you are required to answer from the section B. So in all, how many? 3. Part A is compulsory. It's going to be a case study. Questions will be asked to test your critical thinking, problem solving, and the other competencies. Then the part B, you have 4 questions, and you are to select 2. That's what integrated science. Almighty integrated science. The time allocation for integrated science has been increased. Have you seen it? Now we have 2 hours, 10 minutes for integrated science. Formerly you are having 2 hours. Now 2 hours, 10 minutes. Now paper 1, 40 objectives. Then paper 2 consists of 2 sections, A and B, to be answered within 1 hour 25 minutes. Now the section A, you are going to have 1 compulsory question consisting of 4 sub-questions testing in practical skills in agri, biology, chemistry, and physics. All the 4 aspects will be there. Agri, biology, chemistry, and physics. You are going to have sections 4, and they are all compulsory. Then the paper B will consist of 4 questions. That is a blend of agri, biology, chemistry, physics, and you are expected to answer 3 out of the 4. You are compulsory part A, then the part B, you are going to have 4 questions within which to pick 3. So when we go back, teachers, we encourage you to set your mock around the new structure. Set your questions or your mocks around the new structure, because that's the same structure they are going to meet during the BECE. Then social studies. Now social studies has also changed. The structure has changed. This is our expectation from you. Now, you have 2 papers, but 1 paper to be answered within 1 hour 45 minutes. Paper 1, 40 multiple choice to be answered within 45 minutes for 40 marks. Then, paper 2, the essay, we are going to have 3 sections. Section 1, section 2, and then section 3. Now, the first part, the section 1 will be on environment, and it is compulsory. Please pay attention. Section 1 will be on environment, and it is compulsory. Then, section 2 consists of 2 questions. Under law, order, and nation building. Section 2. You are going to have 2 questions from law, order, and nation building. These are sub-strands in the curriculum, and by now I'm sure you have gone through them. And you are to answer 1 from the section 2. Then section 3, we also have 2 questions from social and economic development. From social and economic development. And you are required to answer 1. So you know how many questions are you answering? 3. 1. compulsory. Lesson 2, you pick one. Lesson 3, you pick one. Make it 3. Now, for French, please pay attention. French has 3 sections, and it is expected that would be done. No modifications in the structure of the French. So in the course of the week, I'm sure they will update it for us. So I'm not going into French for now. Now, these are the subjects with specific content and requirement. So when we go back, we expect that we set our mock questions around the scheme and the structure. Are you okay? Now you have the subject for the BECE. You have seen the specific requirement for all the subjects. Now let's move on. Now I mentioned that our knowledge at the examination center is very, very important. By now, you should know the location of the examination center. The distance, so that if you are to move there on the day of the exam, you know the time to move. Because sometimes, candidates get to the center very late. And by the regulations we have, if you are late for 1 minute, you will not be allowed to enter the examination room. Yes. And it's 30 minutes before time. Afternoon will start at 1. You are writing. It will start at 9. Then afternoon starts at 1. And you must report 30 minutes before time. 30 minutes before time. So if you are coming from far, then you must know the time to leave your school or where you stay. Then the conditions at the center. All these things will help reduce anxiety. Then the size of the. Many of us, when we see, we become afraid. Yes. Over the, I've realized that most of the very first day, they see the anxiety on their faces. Because for the first time, they are. And that's the reason why most often, the very first paper, most of them don't do well. Because the level of anxiety is very high. When you are very anxious, you may not be able to think effectively to attend to the demands of the question. So we visit the center before the time to acclimatize. Yes, go to excursion, move to the center like a form of excursion. See around, go around, look at the facility. It gives you a certain confidence before the day. So teachers, I encourage you, take them to the examination center, and especially the day of arrangement. Make sure you are present on the day of arrangement. For you to get used to the environment. Because when you are used to an environment, it helps you to settle down very well. Is it clear? Yes. Then the next point. Now, the answer booklet. This is a type of answer booklet you have at the center. It is called the G-type answer booklet. There's graph already printed. Alright, so you're not going to be given separate graphs. And the pages are very up to 15 pages. So you wouldn't need any supplementary sheet. This one we call the G-type answer booklet. The knowledge of it, this is very, very crucial. How to fill the cover page. Many times results are released, then you see results pending. Most of them, because they did not fill the cover page. Your knowledge in filling the cover page is very, very important. Now, when you fill the cover page, there are so many information. You have the school number. School number is always 7 digits. So when you have school number, we are expecting you to enter 7-digit number. 0, 1, something. All right? School number is always 7 digits, starting with 0. School number, always 7 digits. Then you have candidate full index number. You have to enter the full index number plus the last 2 digits of the year of completion. So what is your school number? Yes. You don't know your school number. What's your index number? Wow. This is interesting. Yes. What's the school number? Index number. Index number. Don't say. I'm expecting to mention index number. Please hold on. 01210 How many digits? 10. It should be 10. Index number should be 10. When you add the last one, it becomes 12. Is it clear? School number is always 7 digits. Full index number is 10 digits. The school number plus the last 3. Then you add the last 2 digits of the year of completion, making 12 digits. So if you don't enter the 12 digits number here, it can affect the process of your results. That's why results will be released and just be pending. So teachers, please, we need to create that awareness. School number is always 7 digits. Full index number is 10. When you add the last 2 digits of the year of completion, it becomes 12. And we have this here, 2024. So you're adding 24 to the full index number. So what's your school number? 01. So add it. So how many digits? 12. Now, when you enter the school number and the full index number, count and be sure that you have the right number. 7 digits, full index number 12 digits. Because when your result delays, it will affect your wait for you. Now, then you have candidate name. Candidate name. What do? You must enter the name as registered. The same arrangement. So by now, I expect that all of you have been given your names. You have your arrangement. Have you seen your statement of entries? Good. The same way it has been arranged and uploaded to WAEC, we expect that you write same. So if you are registered as, what is your full name? What's the same? Obaka. Then followed by. That's it. That's the arrangement you want. Don't go and change the arrangement. The same way it is captured into the WAEC database, the same arrangement. You must write same on the answer. See, when you change it, it's no longer an impersonation. And impersonation is an offense. And the penalty is cancellation. Yes. Are you okay about that? Impersonation is an offense. And the penalty is cancellation of subject result. So same arrangement as captured in the WAEC system must be same as presented on the cover page of the Hausazone. Then you have candidate signature. The signature should be your normal signature. Alright, your normal signature. Then you have the date for the paper. The date you are writing that subject. Don't assume any date. Write the date of that particular paper. Then the subject, you write it in full. The Ghanaian language, don't just write tree. We have a Kapim tree and Asante tree. If you write tree, what are you saying? It must either be Asante tree or a Kapim tree. Okay. Everybody sit up. Sit up, sit up. Very good, sit up. All right. Are you following? Your knowledge on the field of the cover page of the answer booklet can affect your results. job delay, it can affect your placement. Alright, so then you have paper. This one is always paper. The booklet is always on paper too. So you write to either in words or in figures. But make it simple for us, just write to them. Because some of them, when they are spelling the two, then they write different things. Alright. So it's always two. Then, beneath the paper, you can see the space there. You are to, it is compulsory. You must enter the order by which you presented your response in the booklet. The order. Maybe you started from question 1, then question 2 in that order, then 1, 2, 3. You are not obliged to arrange from 1, 2, 3. You can start from. When we go to the answering techniques, I'll show you some things to do. Alright. So that is the cover page for you. Very, very important. The index number is very, very crucial. We may have so many people with the same name, but what will distinguish them is their index number, because you are the only one with that particular index number. So when you mix it up, it can affect the release of your results. So when you hear pending, results pending, these are some of the reasons. Then, please let's go back. The shading paper. Let's go back. No, next. Good. Then you have the objective shading paper. In our schools, you write mocks, but that one will come without your names and your index numbers, isn't it? Yes. But with the BECE, your names are already pre-printed. Your index numbers are also printed. Your duty on the shading paper is to reshade. You are to reshade the index number, the paper code, and the center code. Don't use pen to rewrite your name. The moment you use ink on the shading paper, the scanner that marks will reject it. Yes. Marking is done by a machine, and it picks the pencil mark. So if you use ink on the shading paper, it becomes invalid. Your duty is to use 2B pencil to reshade the index number, the paper code, and then the center number. They are giving you guide on it, and you are to reshade following the guide on the shading paper. Are you okay? Now, don't fold the shading paper. Don't crumple it. Leave it as flat as it is. The one we are packing, we add card to it to make it flat. The moment you fold or crumple it, it will be rejected by the scanner. Alright. Then, WAEC will give each and every one of you 2B pencil. Alright, WAEC will give everybody 2B pencil for shading. Now, you have to begin each answer to a question on a fresh page. Alright? You have to begin each answer to a question on a fresh page. Even if you use only one line for the first question and you are moving to the next question, move to the next page. Is it clear? Then you leave 2 lines between answers where there are subsections to the same question for clarity and neatness of work. You leave 2 lines in between answers where there are subsections for clarity and neatness of work. Because when a paper is picked, the presentation can make it nice when you are marking. But when it's clumsy and it is arranged anyhow, sometimes it can frustrate and irritate the examiner. So presentation is very, very crucial. Then write the number of each question at the top of each page. At the top, you see a line there. You have to write the number there. That one will guide the examiner. When you leave it open, it can confuse the examiner. Rough work should be done in the answer booklet. So you are not expected to carry any piece of paper to the examination room for rough work. Rough work must be done in the answer booklet. So what I advise is that for the graph part, You are going to have the graph part in all the booklets. Now, if it's not mathematics, you can use the graph part for the rough work. But when you finish, remember to what? Cross it out. Is it clear? You can use the graph part for the other subjects, for your rough work. When you are done, always remember to cross it out. Then the other, if it's mathematics, you can use the back for your rough work. When you finish, remember to do what? Cross it out. Because you are not going to be given separate paper for rough work. And you are not expected to carry any foreign material into the examination room. Then, next, you are using only 2B pencil for shading. Only 2B pencil for shading. Don't use HB. You must use only 2B for shading. And when you are shading, make sure you shade to fit in nicely. The moment the shading goes out, it becomes invalid. Yes. And see, when the machine rejects it, why do not have to mark it manually? And the manual marking, they have to wait to compile all. And if you are not careful, it may delay the release of your results. And once the results are delayed, what happens? Placement will not wait for you. But the placement is being run the moment results are released. So if there are irregular cases and your shading is not properly done, and they are now going to wait to mark yours manually, by the time they finish, your first choice school is already full. So what do? When you are shading, shade properly to fit in nicely. Don't shade round. Is it clear? Some of you shade that way. No, it is wrong. So what's it? All right, good. So shade properly. Let's move on. Now, you make sure you present yourself at the examination center on the day of arrangement and know the specific place assigned to you. Now, in the examination room, please don't be staring around. Concentrate on your paper. The moment you stare around, you invite anxiety. Concentrate, be calm throughout. Just remain calm throughout. Don't engage yourself in any fight, mishandling of any furniture or materials at the center. Next. Then make sure you arrive 30 minutes before the time. Do not involve yourself in any form of conversation in the examination room. Collusion is disallowed. All right? Then you must fill the cover page. I've mentioned that already. The moment it's given to you, work on it. Then do not start work until you are told to do so. Don't start work until you are told to do so. If you want to draw the invigilator's attention, you don't shout. You don't make noise. What you have to do is to lift up your hand. Then later will attend to you, because we have trained them to always have eye contact in the examination room. So if you want an attention, you lift up your hand, then they will attend to you. Don't make any noise. Then make sure you do not have any piece of paper around you. Avoid looking around. I mentioned that as soon as you are told to stop, that time is up. Ensure that the cover page of the answer booklet has your full name, number, name written on it. Never discuss the paper written. Once the paper is done, don't go back and discuss it. It is gone. Do you understand? It is gone. Because if you are not careful and you go and discuss it, it can affect you for the next paper. Yes. So once it's gone, it's gone. Don't discuss it. Prepare for the next paper. Then next, make sure you have been correctly entered for the examination. In the examination room, make sure you read all and understand all instructions. Do independent work in the examination room. Then obey instructions to start and stop work. Next. Now, let's move to the next one. Now, questioning techniques. Before you select any question, you must read through all the instructions. all the instructions. Then you make sure you understand them vividly. Don't be in a hurry to start answering. Observe them accurately. Then, to go against the instructions and non-starter, read through all, make sure you understand them, and then observe them accurately. Then next. Now, you have observed, now you are about to select the questions you want to answer. Read through all the questions carefully and make sure you understand the demands of the question. If the question is takes, what does it mean? If it says list, what does it mean? If it says class, what does it mean? You should be selected, the question should be selected based on available information to the candidate. It is better to start with the questions you can answer best. It is better to start with the questions you can answer best. Then a question may be selected if the available information covers about 70 to 90% of the question. Then next. Now, you have selected. How do you tackle the question? It is not enough to just have the knowledge of the subject matter. You should be able to apply the required knowledge. Now, requirements. When or state. When the question says when or state, what are the demands? It requires short, precise answer. When you say when or state, it requires short and precise answer. Statement from the word statement. Short, precise answer. Listen here. Then, when you say why or explain, it requires detailed, articulated argument to demonstrate clear understanding of the purposes and reasons of the issue at stake. So when you say why, you need details. Then when you say how, describe or outline, what are we looking for? We give a pictorial view of the characteristics of the object of the question. Diagrams are very important in this case and should be given where available. How, describe, and outline. Then when you see compute, this is where mathematics comes in. Compute, calculate, or determine. You are going to have words like that in mathematics. Compute, calculate, determine, find, simplify. These are the math language. What is the requirement? It requires manipulations or operations to arrive at a definite answer. We need the method and the steps. So when they are marking mathematics, you have M1, method. Yes. Before you arrive at a definite answer, method, steps. Don't just put the answer there. Once you see calculate, find, simplify, determine, we want steps or methods. Especially mathematics. These are the requirements of mathematics. Then when you have compare and distinguish, especially integrated science, when you are to compare or distinguish two people, then I have the two of you please come here. You are going to have more of distinguished type of questions, compare and contrast. So if you are asked to, no, the two is okay, the two of them. Please face them. If you are to compare the two of them, when you are comparing and you are starting from the head here, you must also talk about the head. Is it clear? If you are talking about the hand, talk about the hand. That's compare and contrast. Don't talk about the head here and go and talk about the hand here. You are not comparing, you are not contrasting. Is it clear? So it must correspond. This is why most people fail integrated science, especially compare and contrast. They just talk about things it's not in that manner. All right. So how do you compare the two? Yes, the head. One is big, one is small. Then maybe you want to talk about the height, right? So one is then complexion. Let's start with the way and sit down. So when you are to compare and distinguish, you must talk about the two in that manner. Is it clear? Especially in integrated science. Then writing skills. Finally, writing skills. Your handwriting. Please Please write very, very well, because the examiners will not award marks for what they cannot read. Yes. The examiners will never award mark for what they cannot read. So your writing must be clear and legible. Write very well. Avoid the drawings and then they write in a simple manner that can be read. Next. All right. On that note, I'll end here so that if you have questions, right? If there are questions, then I'll address them. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Quartey. Please prepare your questions. Our media, and we also have Hafiz TV. Now, please, if you have any question, just raise up your hand, and my very good boys will attend to you. And when you look at the time, it is almost 12, and by 12 we have to pray. So let's make it snappy, and we'll take 2 questions each from the ladies and then the men.
Yes, good morning to everyone. My name is Joseph. I'm a teacher at Minhaal Basic School. My question pertains to the old system of grading and then the common core system of grading. In the old system, the core subjects were 4, then they take 2 elective subjects to give you the grade. This time we have 7 common core subjects. I would want to know whether all these 7 common core subjects are having the same level of intensity when it comes to the grading system. For instance, if you get 2 in mathematics and then 2 in English, but the rest of the 7 are 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Are they going to consider the 1s, or they will still have to take the mathematics, which is 2, and then the English, that is also 2, before any other subject? Thank you so much.
We'll take the next question. Please, let us get all the questions, and then our resource person will attend to them. Yes, the next question.
Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning.
My name is Darius, teacher of the first school. And my question is directed to the headmaster of Tinasco. You see, you try to sell the school to us, but you never touch on the financial aspect. If I'm about to admit my word, looking at the community we are coming from, how flexible is the entry fees for average parents to be able to bring this or the word to the school? And in addition to that, the video you showed here, somebody talked about the school being a multi-religious school, whether you're Muslim or Muslim, you can come. But here is the case, I could see some Muslim students learning the Quran, but I never saw anything concerning the other religions. So I wanted to know whether you have anything concerning that. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, the third question. Correct.
Thank you very much. All protocol observed. My name is Ekweton Yao. Please, my question goes to why and then the municipality office. I have seen the modification number of times on social media. And then for the first time I'm going through this seminar, and then I can see that it is real, it's going to happen. My problem here is that in order to minimize the debate, the noise in the exam hall, is for the children to know what they are going to do. I have been doing immigration work for some years now, and I pity my students because it is a surprise each time. they are shocked what they see there. As I speak now, some of them are through their second mock, which will be a taste of what they are going to do in July. But the modification is now coming this time. I am hearing it for the first time, if I want to say, and I'm sure this is just a percentage of them. So how are we going to handle those that are not here and then the facilitators? Because my staff, if I should go back on Monday through my headmistress, then I'm trying to correct my maths teacher, career tech, ICT, that please, this is what you are expected to do. I don't think they will take it lightly. And I think I'm nobody to tell them as to what to do. Because I am specialized in French language. Secondly, the modification of French. You said it's yet to be modified or for you to know and then get that the teachers. When and how are we going to write the French? Because I wrote my French here in Ghana and then outside Ghana. Students that are Ghanaian raised outside the shores of Ghana. In my school, I have Niger, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso students in my school. And then they can speak French fluently. They can chat with me, speak French fluently. But anytime they go for French exam, they fail. I send Ivorian girl, my students are here as well, who speaks French better than any student or like any French person. We went for a French competition and then we had almost laps. And I told my sister that my participant is not that they can't speak French. They can speak French very well. But what we are learning is nothing. If I'm like, look at your paper 2 in French. That can we call guidelines. Are they guidelines? No. They are not guidelines. You say describe. Let's say describe your country. In English paper 2, you say describe your country. And they have a formula, a format to describe in English. Then when it comes to French, why is it different? And they are children. They are they are around 40 years. So they know when they speak English, this is how they describe Ghana. Now, if they know they speak French or they can speak French, why can't they describe Ghana the same format? Then you will give them guidelines that will even derail them from the act of describing Ghana. You know what I'm talking about? Describe your country, then you will ask them your name, your father's name, your age. So please, I want you to modify it but then get that to the same level.
That will be the last question. Please, it is questioning. Let's make it a bit snappy, okay? But that will be the last question.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow students. I go by the name Valerie Norte, a student of 37 Military Hospital Basic School. Please, I want to ask this on how our questions will be set for the BECE. Last 2 weeks when we went for a briefing, the woman who took us through the discussions told us one person may differ from what he or she is writing from what the friend is also writing. But for the past years, these questions weren't like that. And how would it be possible for me to write a question which differs from my basic question?
Thank you.
I'll start from the third question from the back. I'm sure you are talking about serialization. Serialization. Yeah, for the first last year, WAEC introduced the serialization style of question. That does not mean the questions are totally different. It means that it's the arrangement on the multiple choice that is different. And it was on center basis, not on room basis. Do you understand? So for instance, we may have 3 centers within a cluster, A, B, and C. The number 1, 40 objectives. Number 1 will be maybe number 10 at the other center. But the questions are all the same. It's the arrangement that is different. This is to check collusion and then for knowledge and leakage. All right? And it's likely we are going to have same style. It doesn't mean the questions are going to be totally different from all of you. The same question, but the arrangement on the multiple choice will be different. Then, on the grading system, you see, if you can observe carefully, we are now gaining grounds on the common core. It's now that the structure and the scheme is becoming clearer. So I'm sure in due time, the grading system will also be made clear to us, all right? Then, for the French, about when the scheme will be completely modified and be given to you, if you observe the scheme carefully, you can see on hold because of the oral aspect and the logistics availability. So once everything is clear, I'm sure the education office will attend to all of you. They will give all the information to you, and I'm sure they have it. At the right time, all of you will get the information. I'm sure they will meet you as well and deliberate on that. Thank you very much. I think that's all for the questions. All right, thank you.
HAFIZ TV, unique every day.